Rosie and Alex have been best friends since childhood. The movie begins with Rosie sitting alone at a table while wedding guests crowd around her. The action then shifts to the past when Rosie and Alex are in a bar. They are celebrating their 18th birthdays by kissing passionately. Then Rosie falls off a stool and hits her head, rendering her unconscious. She wakes up the next morning with no memory of the night before. Alex doesn't know that she doesn't remember their kiss. Rosie tells Alex that she wishes that night had never happened and doesn't want to talk about it anymore. Alex takes that as a rejection. Later, Rosie and Alex attend a bonfire on the beach where they discuss the upcoming school dance. Rosie reveals that she was invited by Greg, the toughest guy in school, but she turned him down because she and Alex were already planning to go together. Meanwhile, Alex has his sights set on a blonde named Bethany, who Rosie says might be hard to get because Alex is still a virgin. He guffaws, confidently telling Rosie how Bethany wanted to go to the dance with him. Rosie suggests that he should take Bethany and she should take Greg. Alex agrees. On the day of the dance, Alex breaks the news to Rosie that he lost his virginity. She looks unhappy. That night, Alex takes Rosie to the hotel where the dance is being held, and they break up. Each couple has a great time on the dance floor, though Rosie and Alex furtively look at each other longingly. Later, Rosie and Greg head to a room where their night doesn't go quite as planned. After Greg dumps her, she calls Alex, who is still downstairs dancing with Bethany. He leaves Bethany to take Rosie to the hospital. A few months later, Alex gets a scholarship to Harvard, and Rosie is accepted into a hotel management program at Boston University, so they plan to travel to the US together. However, Rosie visits a pharmacy to find a remedy for her recent nausea, and the salesperson, Ruby, suggests she take a pregnancy test. The girl realizes that she is pregnant, and Greg is the father of the baby. She decides not to tell Alex because she knows he would stay with her, but she doesn't want him to have to part with his dream either. Rosie decides to have the baby and then give it up for adoption so she can still go to college in Boston and start her career. Alex has to leave for the States without her, and they tearfully say goodbye at the airport. At home in England, Rosie continues to live with her parents, preparing to give the baby up for adoption. However, once she gives birth, she realizes that she wants to raise her daughter on her own. She names her Katie and becomes a mum. One day on the street, Rosie runs into Bethany, who tells Alex about Rosie and her baby. Alex flies to England to check on Rosie, who says she didn't tell Alex about the baby because she wanted him to go to Harvard. Alex forgives her and spends a few days with Rosie and Katie. Rosie explains that Greg moved to Ibiza as soon as he found out Rosie was pregnant, and Alex asks to be Katie's godfather. Alex eventually returns to the US, while Rosie stays in England. Back in Boston, Alex is having a drink alone at a bar. He is approached by a blonde woman. She introduces herself as Sally and asks if Alex will buy her a drink. He agrees. Over the years, Rosie and Alex stay in touch by sending each other videos. Sally and Alex are in a relationship and move in together. Rosie befriends Ruby, the pharmacy clerk. Katie grows up. Rosie and Ruby work as maids at a local hotel, although Rosie still dreams of opening her own hotel. One day, Alex sends Rosie a ticket to Boston. She is very excited as she thinks something is going to happen between them. When she arrives at the airport, she and Alex hug happily. Alex takes Rosie around the city where they spend the whole day. Afterward, they return to Alex's apartment where Sally has been waiting for Alex to return. Rosie stays for a lavish dinner with Alex and Sally, where it becomes apparent that Alex and Rosie are much more alike than Alex and Sally. It is also revealed that Sally is pregnant, which shocks Rosie because Alex hasn't told her. After dinner, they attend an art show put on by Sally's friend, artist Herb. Rosie leaves the art show early. Rosie is upset that they spent the day together while his pregnant girlfriend was home. Alex says it doesn't matter because the two of them were just having fun. They get into an argument. Rosie leaves. In England, Rosie decides to contact Greg because she wants Katie to meet her father. To her surprise, Greg asks Rosie to be a part of Katie's life. She agrees, and all three begin to spend time as a family. Greg and Rosie get back together and eventually get engaged. Alex is invited to their wedding, but he doesn't show up. A few weeks later, Rosie decides to call Alex's apartment and is answered by Sally. She tells Rosie that she and Alex broke up during Rosie's wedding. Before Sally hangs up, Rosie hears her screaming. Sally goes into labor. Rosie then texts Alex and asks what happened to Sally. It turns out that she cheated on him with Herb, and the baby was not Alex's. Rosie's parents leave on a trip around the world, and Rosie is promoted to receptionist at the hotel. Bethany meets Rosie during check-in at the hotel. Hearing that Bethany is traveling to Boston soon, Rosie suggests that she find Alex. Rosie's father dies suddenly while on vacation. Alex returns to England for the funeral and comforts Rosie. However, they are interrupted by Greg, who ignores Rosie's pain. Alex realizes that he loves Rosie and knows he would treat her better than Greg. He sends her a letter in which he confesses his love. When the letter arrives at Rosie's house, Greg takes it away and locks it in a desk drawer. Until then, Rosie decides to start following her dream and begins planning how to open her own hotel. Katie is a teenager and spends a lot of time with her friend Toby. Alex writes to Rosie to ask about whether she is happy with Greg. After thinking about her answer, she replies that they are a family and she is happy with her family. Greg calls Rosie from his work trip to inform her that he will be staying longer than he had originally planned. After Ruby checks the hotel database, they learn that he has booked a honeymoon suite. Rosie and Ruby head to Greg's hotel, where he is with another woman. After Rosie stabs her husband, she returns home to start throwing out all of Greg's possessions. While cleaning, she stumbles across a locked desk drawer and finds Alex's letter. She immediately calls Alex, but Bethany answers. Alex joins her, and they announce that they are engaged and getting married next week. They ask Rosie to be best man, and she agrees, trying to hold back tears. Rosie expresses her support to Ruby and says that they may not be right for each other. Ruby admonishes Rosie and convinces her to come to the wedding early and tell Alex how she feels before it's too late. A week later, Rosie, Ruby, Katie and Toby are preparing to fly to America for their wedding. However, their flight is delayed and they arrive at the church just as Alex and Bethany are leaving. At the reception, Rosie gives a speech and recalls moments from her childhood with Alex, including the night of her 18th birthday, which she cannot remember. She then thanks Alex for being a wonderful friend. She promises that she will always love him. After a pause, she quickly adds that she will love him like a sister loves her brother. After the speech, the guests begin to dance in pairs: Bethany and Alex, Katie and Toby, Ruby and her newfound love, Phil. Toby leans in to kiss Katie, but she pushes him away and runs out onto the roof. Alex and Rosie, who witness the scene, follow her. Katie is shocked and tells them that she will just ask Toby to forget about what happened. Alex warns her that if she rejects Tobin, he will spend the rest of his life in sadness. It is obvious that Alex is not only talking about Toby's feelings, but also hinting at her own. Katie still can't imagine Toby kissing her. At that moment, Toby joins them on the roof, and Katie runs up to him and kisses him on the lips. They return to the party, and Rosie and Alex are left alone. Alex tells Rosie the truth about what happened the night of her 18th birthday. He says that he finally realized that she didn't remember anything that day. She realizes that the only reason Alex took Bethany to the school dance years ago was because he thought Rosie didn't feel love for him. While it's obvious that they still love each other, there's nothing more that can be done about it. Rosie and Alex say goodbye at the airport and return to England. Rosie buys a mansion and renovates it. On the day of the grand opening, she throws a party. Alex shows up unexpectedly, alone, without his bags or his wife, and asks for a room. Rosie takes him to a room overlooking the sea, and Alex turns to her and asks her to dance. "Better late than never," Rosie replies. Afterward, he kisses her passionately.